The Behelit, known as betchi, is a mysterious and powerful artifact in the Berserk series, and its presence with Puck and Guts on their journey could be attributed to various reasons, although not explicitly explained in the canon. In today's video, I want to explore potential explanations for why the Behelit, nicknamed betchi, is with Guts, as well as speculate on how Guts could potentially utilize its power. One possible reason could be related to the theme of fate or destiny, which is prominent in the world of Berserk. It's plausible that the Behelit is bound to Guts and Puck by some predetermined fate or destiny. This could mean that the Behelit has specifically chosen them as its bearers, or they may have been destined to cross paths with it due to some unknown cosmic plan or prophecy. This would explain why the Behelit is specifically linked to Puck and Guts on their journey, as part of a larger narrative arc or plan that is yet to be revealed. One intriguing theory is that Guts and Puck may only be serving as temporary carriers of the Behelit, and that they might eventually cross paths with the person who is truly destined to use its power. The Behelit is known to choose its owner, and it is suggested that only those who are truly destined can unlock its full potential. Guts and Puck could be unwittingly carrying the Behelit, acting as temporary guardians or conduits for its power, until they encounter the individual who is truly meant to wield it. This theory could explain why the Behelit has appeared alongside Guts and Puck, as it may be searching for its rightful owner, and their journey could lead them to the person who is destined to use its dark powers. This would introduce an intriguing twist in the story, with the Behelit's true purpose and its connection to Guts and Puck's journey revealed in a surprising manner, adding further depth and complexity to the narrative. Another interpretation could be that the Behelit serves purely as a symbolic representation of the darker aspects of Guts' journey or the world of Berserk in general, while Puck represents a more lighthearted and comedic side of the story. The presence of the Behelit alongside Puck and Guts could create a contrast between the darker and lighter aspects of the story, highlighting the ongoing struggle between good and evil, light and darkness, and the internal conflicts faced by the characters. Perhaps we will never actually see it being used. Furthermore, the Behelit could also serve as a narrative device to create tension and conflict in the story. Its presence may lead to moral dilemmas, character development, and plot twists. Having the Behelit with Puck and Guts could create opportunities for challenging decisions, internal struggles, and dramatic moments that drive the story forward. I will discuss this in more detail at the end of this video, so keep listening closely. The Behelit's presence with Puck and Guts could also be a way to explore the character's growth and development. Guts, who is on a path of vengeance and struggles with his inner demons, may be tempted by the Behelit's power and face moral dilemmas. Puck, who embodies a more innocent and naive personality, could serve as a contrasting character who helps Guts resist the temptation of the Behelit and make morally sound decisions. We all know the world of Berserk for its dark, unpredictable, and often chaotic nature. The Behelit's presence with Puck and Guts could simply be a manifestation of this unpredictability and chaos, where objects and events may not always have a clear explanation or reason. It could be seen as a reflection of the harsh and brutal reality of the Berserk world, where nothing is certain or straightforward. Lastly, I want to discuss concrete examples of how Guts might make use of the Behelit. Guts may use the Behelit as a portal to summon the Godhand, not with the intention of joining them, but rather to defeat them. Throughout the Berserk series, Guts has been on a quest for revenge against the Godhand. This theory suggests that Guts may not be tempted by the Behelit's offer to join the Godhand, but rather could be using it as a strategic weapon in his quest for justice and revenge, employing its dark powers against those who have caused him immense suffering. This theory adds an interesting twist to the story, as it presents the Behelit as a tool of resistance rather than submission, with Guts utilizing its power to take control of his own destiny and confront his formidable enemies on his own terms. Now, I think that most of us will agree on the fact that in order to beat the Godhand, Guts needs some type of power-up. Which brings us to the next theory. Guts may choose to infuse the Behelit into his sword, creating a weapon akin to the Sword of Actuation wielded by the Skull Knight. The Skull Knight's sword is a powerful weapon that has the ability to pierce through the fabric of reality, opening portals and creating rifts in space and time. We saw its immense power being used during the battle between Griffith and Ganishka, where the Skull Knight made an appearance. It is speculated that the Behelit, being a mysterious artifact with immense power, could potentially be used in a similar manner to create such a weapon. Guts, driven by his relentless pursuit of vengeance, could seek to augment his sword with the Behelit, tapping into its dark energies to enhance his combat abilities and gain an edge against his enemies, including the Godhand and the Apostles. This theory presents the Behelit as not just a standalone object, but as a catalyst for Guts to transform his weapon into a formidable tool capable of altering the very fabric of reality, and potentially giving him the means to achieve his vengeance against the seemingly invincible Godhand. Of course, one could also argue that alternatively to his sword, Guts might try to infuse his armor with the Behelit. Although it may be logical for Guts to use the Behelit in the manner described, I feel uneasy about it, considering the idea of Guts, who is depicted as an enemy of evil, harnessing the very force that annihilated the Band of the Hawk, his cherished comrades. I personally came up with the following scenario. During a fierce battle against a formidable apostle or even the Godhand, Guts finds himself gravely wounded and outnumbered. He struggles to defend himself and his newfound comrades, but the apostle's power is overwhelming. As Guts witnesses his friends falling around him and his own injuries mounting, he becomes increasingly desperate, all while getting flashbacks of the loss of his former comrades. In his moment of weakness, the Behelit he acquired earlier in his journey starts to exert its influence on him. The whispers of the Behelit become more pronounced, offering Guts the power to turn the tide of the battle and achieve his long-sought revenge against the Godhand and their minions. The Behelit promises him the strength to defeat the Apostle and save his loved ones, but at a great cost. Guts hesitates, torn between the temptation of the Behelit and the horror of what it demands in return. He remembers the stories of other characters who have used the Behelit, such as Griffith, who sacrificed his comrades to become a member of the Godhand. Guts is haunted by the moral implications of such a dark and monstrous pact, but he also struggles with the desire to avenge the atrocities committed against him and his loved ones. As Guts weighs his options, he recalls the words of his fallen comrades, including Pippin and Judo, who had urged him to stay true to his humanity and not to succumb to darkness. He also thinks of Casca, who suffered from a mental condition due to the eclipse trauma. Guts is torn between his burning desire for revenge and his sense of morality, as he realizes that using the Behelit may mean sacrificing a part of himself or others. In this critical moment, Guts faces an internal conflict that shakes him to his core. He grapples with his own humanity and struggles to maintain his sense of honor and purpose. Despite the Behelit's tempting promises, Guts ultimately decides to resist its allure and find another way to defeat the Apostle without resorting to such dark means. This decision becomes a defining moment in Guts' character arc, showing his growth as a protagonist who is willing to confront his own demons and make difficult moral choices. It highlights the themes of power, sacrifice, and morality that are central to Berserk, as Guts grapples with the consequences of his actions and strives to maintain his humanity in a world full of darkness and despair. Overall, this theory suggests that Guts may be tempted to use the Behelit in a moment of weakness, but ultimately chooses to resist its allure and stay true to his sense of morality. In conclusion, while the exact reasons for why the Behelit is specifically with Puck and Guts on their journey are not explicitly explained in the Berserk canon, there are various speculative theories that could provide insight. These could include themes of fate or destiny, symbolic representation, narrative device, character growth and temptation, and the unpredictability of the Berserk world. As Berserk is known for its complex and intricate storytelling, interpretations vary a lot, and the actual reasons for the Behelit's presence may be revealed or left open to interpretation. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure to let me know what your Betchi the Behelit theory is in the comments below. See you next time.